Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another stream video thing that we're doing. These intros are always terrible, I know that. Anyways, new year and new arc this week. I personally wasn't that interested in this unit once I saw their video and the kit, all their skills and stuff. I wasn't super interested, but I kind of been looking around a little bit more. I think he's pretty decent, but I'm not entirely sure of how good he is at this moment. But it's going to kind of require a bit more testing. And another thing I should mention is my luck over the anniversary has just been a bit crazy. Not gonna lie, I don't know what's happened in this anniversary. There's been a lot of crazy stuff happening. For me, if you saw those short videos, I got this arc to +2 somehow. I don't know what's been happening in this game, but I really don't know what to say. This arc is at +2, and I got this arc this morning, and I don't know how. I was just doing a few single summons, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. Let's first get into the new unit and the arc. So I think his name is Vayne. Pretty sure he's a new story unit that's going to show up in the story. I haven't started that yet. I'm going to start that probably later on. I don't do them in streams or videos or anything because I like, you know, to kind of enjoy it by myself. And I'm sure people don't want to get spoiled from watching the story anyways. So let's have a look at the unit first. So it looks pretty cool. I personally like dragons. Dragons are just really cool to me. Anything with wings I just find really cool. So stats, he's got exactly the same strength and defense, which is quite funny. HP's pretty good too. This unit's going to be a hybrid DPS / tank unit, and this just reminds me of Granadas, not gonna lie. So I don't know how this unit is going to compare to Granadas. My guess so far is Granadas is a better support and probably going to tank more hits than this guy, but Vayne is going to be a better DPS. That's just what I think. I think DPS definitely, but for a tank, I don't know yet. I'm just going to have to do some testing and try him out in the arena and stuff once I have him fully built, hopefully. So, nil to stun is very good. Curse resistance is also good. Pretty good ailment resistance is -20 to fire is okay, at least it's not -30. +25 thunder resistance is actually quite good for arena, especially against Lagrain and Mia and Mikasa, those 3 units. So abilities, I think his abilities are pretty interesting. I saw the video. I wasn't super excited with his damage cap or damage, but when I saw his animations for his skills, I think they're pretty good. Especially his skill 3. I think his skill 3 is going to be pretty damn nice, but I think the area of all of these 3 skills are not very high. They're not very wide area on these skills, I think, but skill 1's a long range attack, which is always great to have. Long range is incredibly useful for especially arena, and for, you know, not being in the front of the enemies and taking a lot of hits, so that's useful. Skill 2, medium area earth attack around the unit, followed by a targeted mid-range wide area of combo attack. There's a lot of words going on there, but it's basically kind of like a Lagrain skill 2, I'm gonna guess, because it's around the unit. I don't know, I don't remember the animation, we're gonna have to see that later on, but ideally if you want to get all the hits on that skill 2, you probably got to be really close. I don't know though. Maybe you could do it from long range too. Skill 3 is basically his dragon skill. I think it's pretty cool. Mid-range wide area earth combo attack. I don't know what the range is. Hopefully in arena you could still use a skill 3 as soon as the battle starts. You don't have to walk close to the enemy, hopefully. I don't know though. His special seems pretty good. At least from the video, I think it had decent hits, like 40 or so. Powerful earth combo attack to all enemies is okay. Traits, some interesting stuff here. So you can see here that both traits have flux in them, which they kind of work together, I guess you could say that. When equipped with only one weapon and using skills, so it doesn't say only one sword or anything like that. You can equip any weapon. Give unit the sand weapon buff. So this unit's going to be, I feel like we've been getting quite a few units like this recently where they've been having unique buffs and can activate unique buffs to activate more damage, stuff like that. We've been having quite a few of those recently, especially Devil May Cry collab had a lot of those. Had Virgil and Shift Nero both had similar things like that, where they had limited time buffs that increased their damage and even gave them super armor and stuff like that. So this is kind of similar to that, but a bit different, which gives unit strength plus 100%, move when given sand wall buff. So sand wall buff's probably in a trait too. During sand weapon buff of physical damage 6%, which is pretty nice. Damage cap 25,000. So that's some good damage and damage cap, but I 100% know that his damage cap and damage overall is not going to be as good as Dell. He's like a full DPS in my opinion. He can take some hits too, but he can't turn into a tank like this guy can, and this unit has more skills aimed towards a tank as well. But I just personally feel like Adele damage cap is just way too high. Compared to all the single world units we've got, his damage cap is just above everyone else. Which is kind of surprising. So trait 2, Battlestar, and when revived, give unit the sand wall buff. So here's the thing I'm thinking about, is when it's the start of the battle and you only have one weapon equipped, which one activates? Because I don't know. That's the question I wanted to know, because I haven't tested him or anything yet, so I don't really know much about this unit at this time. So I don't know which one's going to activate if you have both of these. Battlestar and when revived, 100% defense is pretty good. Now, I know that taking less damage, like damage mitigation skills like minus 10% physical damage, is going to be overall better than a defense buff, because defense buffs overall, they're just not as good as those. But hopefully this is still gonna be good. Let's say he has like 3,000 strength, well 3,000 defense I mean, then he gets this 100% defense and now he's got 6,000 instead. Could be good potentially, and if you stack a bunch of defense ups, he could have some insane defense stats as well as strength stats depending on which one you have activated. During sand wall buff, physical damage taken minus 30%, it's pretty nice. And during sand weapon buff, when taking physical attacks / specials, chance for unit to get sand wall buff. So here's my guess, is that you start off with this when you have one weapon equipped, and when you're taking physical damage or special damage, then there's a chance that it changes to sand wall buff. Now the thing is, this could be a problem in like harder difficulty stages where the bosses keep hitting a bunch of times and they do some specials, because then you're going to change your buff to the sand wall buff, which means you're not going to get this 25,000 damage cap. So when you have the sand wall buff, his damage is kind of a bit too low, but good thing is his skills I think are pretty fast, so I think that kind of makes up for it. I'm not 100% sure yet, we'll have to see. But these traits are interesting, but the problem is it's conditional, so you can't have both active at the same time, only one's active. But it's something unique again, and I always like that, so it should be fun to at least try out. And I'm sure there is going to be some way that we can benefit from these buffs and make them quite good, but at this time I don't know yet. So skills, new charisma, all allies physical damage 10% and physical damage taken minus 10%. It's pretty nice, it's okay, nothing crazy. Any charisma is nice though. Sand Castle Wall is a new magic. Give Samuel buff. Okay, basically you could just cast this at the start of the battle and you get this. I think what this means is you can use this anytime. It doesn't say it's limited to one-time use. So, and I'm also not sure how long the buff lasts. So I think, since it's 0 MP and you don't have a limit of how many times you can use it, it's going to be pretty good. I wish he had it for his weapon buff too. a sand weapon buff. If he had that on here too, that would be even more useful as well, because then it could be used for it could be even better for higher difficulty stages to do even more damage overall over long periods of battles. I think that would be great, but at least it's got one here. That's still good. I don't know how that's going to work in Arena, but I do kind of want to try that out. I have no idea though at the moment. Defense at max, Flank Spirit 5, pretty basic stuff. Heroism up 2, critical. Now he's got some more tank skills here, so you can see how he's more aimed towards a tank. Now I was hoping he wasn't going to be a tank type unit because we've already got Granadas, and I feel like I would personally cover more different elements for tanks. Like for example, we don't really have a... What tank element don't we have? Probably Dark. I mean, if you count Shift Milim, potentially Light, technically Shift Roland, but let's say an Ice tank, we've got Gorm. I guess most of those elements are covered, but let's just say we only really have Gorm and Granadas as proper tanks. I would have preferred like a different element instead of Earth again, you know, for a tank, but I guess it's fine. So guard, heal guard, sand step, boosts movement speed, chance to evade physical attacks. Now this is going to stack with illusion, I think it's called that, which also chance to evade physical attacks. So that's a good idea. Human Buster, basically the same as Human Slayer, but physical attack, special, and counter. Counter's still terrible, but special, I guess, is okay, but there aren't that many human boss enemies. That's why I think this guy's mostly an arena unit, because he's got Human Slayer, and there's a lot of units in arena that are human, and he's also Earth, so Earth kind of counters Lagrange and Mia and units like that we've been seeing. Especially Lagrange, he's like the top one, I would say, that he kind of counters in a way. Anti-type shield, it's even better for survivability. Auto haste, stone armor, continuous stonewall is pretty nice. I think that means less thunder damage taken, right? That's pretty nice. Earth high drive, mega drive, attack raise 3, more damage cap, more damage, pretty good. Stone enhance, less damage taken, like seeing it. Earth critical raise, megalodon shield, favored sword. So he's got some hybrid tank slash DPS skills here, which is interesting, and I think these types of units are good in the maze. I've been doing a little bit of maze, managed to get up a few floors, but I'm not really too focused on that because it's difficult, and it's, I don't know, I'm trying to take my time with it and not rush it because I'm not too worried about it. I could probably clear it if I spent a bunch of time on it, but I just don't feel like it because it takes so long. But units like these that have survivability are very important in the maze, because the maze bosses, they do so much damage most of the time, and I found a good team that I could use, but then I have to keep retrying because I keep dying because they're doing a lot of damage, or I get inflicted by an element or something. But most of the time they do a lot of damage, so he could be good for that. Auto boost 3, power specials, skill charge 3, quick trigger, indomitable spirit, it's pretty nice. Kind of like that. Cloak of Majesty, that's going to be good for Arena too, because every unit in Arena counts as non-boss enemies. Focused Will, I remember seeing that on Granadas. Duration of Strength, Defense, Instant Mind, debuffs. Take a minus 50%, it's okay. Nothing crazy. Imaginary weapon we've seen on Shida. I think that's the only other unit we've seen it on. You can equip any type of weapon, which is pretty nice. Now we've got some more unique skills down here. So, weapon and armor equipped, skill damage cap 5000, it's okay. Special damage cap 10,000, ST recovery speed 10%. It's a pretty nice skill because it stacks for everything. Sand weapon buff active, draw less enemy attention. Sand wall buff active, draw more enemy attention. I like that. It's pretty nice because you're getting a benefit depending on which buff you have active. I really hope that the buffs are permanent, but I really don't think they are. They're probably like Devil May Cry units buffs, like they last 40 seconds. It doesn't matter in Arena, because Arena doesn't last that long anyway, but in harder stages that last a long time, you need the buffs to last as long as possible for those stages. Sand weapon buff active when physically attacking, damage to guarding enemies plus 100%. Now this is crazy for Arena, because I think Mia has something like this which does 100% more damage to enemies that are guarding, which is incredibly useful. Enemy defense minus 20% deal damage is also very useful, because piercing, I've realized, like Vayne with a lot of piercing is very good. So having this skill which also gives piercing and more damage to guarding enemies in Arena is just very good. So I could see this unit being pretty strong in Arena already. I don't know if he's going to be better as a DPS or a tank or a hybrid. I don't know. I don't know anything yet. I'm just seeing his skills. Sandwall buff active, chance to resist flinch from physical attacks. That's pretty good. That's pretty nice. And when unit is airborne, physical and special damage taken minus 40%. That's pretty nice too. That's mostly for Arena again. When I first saw his video, I've instantly thought that he's going to be an Arena focus unit, and the Arc as well, which we'll look at in a minute. Sand Puppet. This basically just looks like another revive, doesn't it? When HP hits 0, auto revive and restore half HP once per wave when revived, giving it protection. So, that reminds me, he doesn't have any auto protection or auto fort or anything like that. But he does get this. When revived, give protection. But if you want him to survive in Arena, you're going to need auto protection or something like that anyway. But think about it, Sand Puppet can stack with Decoy, which can also stack with Revive accessories. So in total, he can have like, if you count the previous UR arc, then he can have 5 revives, I believe. I need to sign him to my YouTube thing. Anyways, I think his skills are pretty good. Nightplot saved everything. Okay. Well, let's move over to the Arc. I think this unit looks pretty interesting. I thought his artwork was pretty cool, mostly because of the dragon. We will look at him more a bit later, but so far I think he's pretty decent. But in total, I don't think he's going to be a focused DPS unit. He could be, but not the highest DPS in the game. But still decent for an Earth DPS, I think. But he also has good survivability and can be a full tank too, probably, so he looks like a decent unit. Gonna have to try him out later, hopefully. Now let's look at the Arc next. So, Master of Sands, you are. I was really hoping that this UR was going to give some kind of Earth attack damage on its trait, but let's have a look at the trait. Damage taken minus 10%, very nice for if you want to take less damage, obviously. When attack is thunder / no attribute, damage taken minus 20%. So here's the thing, these are on separate sentences because there's a full stop here, so I think that means in total, if it is a no attribute or thunder damage you're taking, then it's gonna be minus 30% damage taken from that attack, which is crazy. We'll have a look at that in a second. There's some interesting skills, but this is pretty crazy for Arena, and it's very funny because Lagrain and Lagrabos are two fairly new units. Especially Lagrabos, he came out literally not long ago, like 4 weeks ago or something like that, I think it was. And then we also had another UR arc 2 weeks ago, which was focused on more burst damage, which is good for Lagrabos in Arena. And now they're bringing out this UR arc, which kind of counters everything that they've been releasing. Now, I don't think this arc is going to fully counter Lagrabos and Lagrange in arena, or non-attribute damage in arena, or Mia, any thunder or non-attribute damage in arena. I don't think it's going to fully counter them, but it's going to make them not as useful, and it could probably mean you could put this arc on someone like Shift Gorm, and they can start being able to take thunder damage hits now. I don't know about that, but I think this trait is going to be good for arena. If it is minus 30% total damage taken, then very good. Very good. So let's read the rest of this first. Yeah, it says minus 20% more, whatever that's supposed to mean. Whenever taking damage, boost strength and defense, maximum of plus 25%. Resets each wave, okay. Earth attack damage cap plus 3000. Problem is that this arc, even though it gives earth damage cap, it doesn't increase earth damage. So let's say you're using Levi and he wants more damage cap, but he needs the damage from the arc trait to be able to hit the damage cap, then this arc isn't going to benefit him because he's not hitting the damage cap anyway, and he needs that damage from the arc trait, which this arc doesn't give. So that's just the one problem I'm seeing, is this isn't like other DPS UR arcs that we've seen, like Katsuchi or Solaris and other ones that also increase elemental damage. This one doesn't do that, which is sad. If it increased earth damage by at least 10 or 20%, that would have been perfect. That would have been amazing, but it's still going to be good if you're already hitting damage cap. Then this increases your damage cap even more, and also gives good survivability. So I kind of like this trait. I think it's going to be very useful, and I'm worried about it enforcing people to use more tank teams in arena now. Like, you could put this arc on any kind of tank in arena, and it could make them survive even more. Because if you also look at the stats, 3000 HP, 400 defense, it's a pretty tanky arc, not gonna lie. So I'm a bit worried about that, but let's look at the skills, which is gonna make me even more worried. Earth Drive, which we've seen on one SSR arc previously, so it's not new, but it is nice that it's there. Defense up 4 is okay. Now there's some unique skills here which are quite interesting. So Shield Force, when special gauge is full, defense 30%. This isn't going to do very much, really, because you need your special to be full. It's going to be kind of useful for tanks, but at the same time, it's not going to be useful in arena because you don't get your special up anyway. So, and it's 5SC, it's okay. For 5SC it's actually good for 30% defense, but you've got to have full special gauge. But I can definitely see it being useful in some cases, potentially, when you can have your special active and you just save it. But again, that's kind of limited, situational kind of. Now, extra attack shield is a very nice one. I kind of like this. Damage taken from extra attacks and the second hit of dual wield type skills, minus 30%. I gotta tell you, minus 30% is quite a lot, and for 4SC is quite cheap, so I think this skill is very good. Now again, this is only really going to be useful for arena, but that's why I'm kind of worried for arena right now, because this extra attack shield skill can be equipped on any tank team you want, any tank unit you want. It can be equipped on Shift Gorm, it can be equipped on Granadas and even Vayne, and even units like Sarah and Theria. All those tank units that we use in arena, this can now be used on to make them take less damage. So I think this is a very good skill. For 4SC I think it's very cheap for what it gives, minus 30% damage taken for those extra attacks. I like it, so I'm definitely going to use it. I kind of want to use it right now, but I will try to make a tank team on my defense, probably. I kind of want to do that. I don't know if I will, or if I can be bothered, but this arc kind of persuades people to use more tank teams right now, which is, I don't like that. Boulder Sentry for 5SC. Cut physical attack damage taken based on how much unit MP is left. how much unit MP is left. So, does this mean if you have max MP, then you're at minus 15% physical damage taken? Or does it mean the other way around? How much unit MP is left? It's just too much English. How much is left? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this means if you have max MP on your unit, then you're getting minus 15% physical damage taken. Since I think of it like that, this won't be useful in Arena if it's like that, because it means if you have 0 MP, every unit in Arena starts with 0 MP. So, at the start of the battle with 0 MP, this is not going to do anything, I believe, because you need to have max MP. If it was HP, it would have been better. I kind of thought it was HP, but it's an M, if you didn't know. It's a decent skill for 5 SE, but you got to have max MP. But I think it could be good. Not as good as extra attack shield in my opinion. Earth attack raise 2 is decent too. It's still incredibly expensive, but there's some good skills here. They're not crazy good, like there's no Earth attack raise 3 or Earth Mega Drive or stuff like that, but still, extra attack shield, tank skills, some damage skills, I think it's pretty good. Let's look at arc skill first, and then arc for reward next. Powerful earth attack damage to all enemies, damage cap plus 15,000, pretty nice. I haven't seen the animation or anything on this skill, so we'll look at that later. Give all allies earth attack damage plus 30% buff and damage taken minus 20% buff. That's pretty good. Less damage taken. This is at level 10 though, by the way, so minus 20% damage taken buff, and then you also add minus 10% here, and then also minus 20% here. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but we'll have to see what it is at level 1 in a little bit. Arcade reward, I personally like this one, is an armor, gives HP, defense and mines, defense pretty high, physical attack damage taken minus 20%. Now, this is pretty basic. It's just a basic armor, but at the same time, it's very good, because this can be used in Arena, and it gives us another armor option to use, and we've only really have one Godforge armor that's pretty good. You know the one I'm talking about. That one decreases physical damage taken 2 and increases target, whatever, basically a law. This is another armor that decreases physical damage taken, so this is another armor that can be used in Arena. That's why I'm also worried about this arc existing for Arena tank teams. If everyone uses Arena tank teams right now, then Lagravos is going to kind of be dead at that point, because Lagravos can't kill full tank teams, so I've just been avoiding them. But if enough people move to tank teams just because of this arc and the new unit, then I'm happy to switch up my team again, aren't I? Resistance to Curse is also good, plus 5 to Thunder. It's pretty good, I like this armor. Mostly for Arena, I think, but still, I think it's nice. Overall, I think this arc is very good for survivability and mostly for tank teams, and could be decent for earth damage too. Let's say you're up against a boss that is weak to earth, and you're hitting damage cap on your Levi, for example, or any earth DPS unit you're using, then you can get 3,000 more earth damage cap from this arc, so that's a good thing. And you're also taking less damage, so. And now I'm thinking about it, earth attack damage you would use against thunder damage enemies, and you take 20% less damage with thunder damage too, so that's kind of good. I kind of like that. So I personally like this arc. It's not as good as the previous UR arc in terms of I personally feel like the other arc is more useful for damage, obviously, but it just felt like it was more useful in terms of Arena and stuff like that. But maybe this, I think this arc looks pretty good too. I don't know if the value is as good as the previous one. Let me just have a look at that one. But I think it's a good UR arc. Not worth chasing. Never chase them, but if you get it, it's very good to have. Mostly for the survivability, but if you like damage, They're basically giving us a full damage focused arc here, and the one we have today is a full tank focused arc, which is interesting. This one is basically for full damage. I personally feel like this arc is quite valuable. I like it because I've been using it in arena. I feel like it's been very good. It's incredible damage, gives revive. I think this one's very good, and also gives good skills too. I would probably say that is a bit more valuable than this one, but I think they're both solid. I think they're both very good arcs. So I'm kind of happy with this dual arc, and we've already got it anyway, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. But there's the unit in the arc. I think they're solid. I'm going to keep saying that because they are Earth, and it's a kind of a pun. I've been trying to avoid saying that many times, but it's kind of happened anyway. Let's look at the trading space next, and see what this update has added. So there is a Halloween event, but the Halloween arc is going to be in 3 days from now, so that is not yet. But if we just look at the event, I have done some of it, not all of it, but some basic. There's a staff and a hammer. They're okay. I mean, I recommend to get them anyway, because you can use them in the maze, and you need a lot of equipment for the maze, so just buy them anyway, because why not? The bird type enemies, plant type enemies, you might as well. Prism, you might as well get that now. God Relic Prism Shard, make sure to get everything in here if you can, might as well. Especially these, because they're just very useful. I'm still saving mine for a potential future unit. I don't know, probably a long time from now, but you could technically save up 10 of them and get a unit to plus 20. That would be fun. Normal gadget tickets, jack-o'-lantern. So there are previous limited arcs here from Halloween. I've already gotten both of these because I've played this game for a long time. But anyone that doesn't have these arcs, you might as well get at least one of each, because they are only available every Halloween, and you might as well get them because they're limited arcs. Don't miss out on them, and they're basically free. So just get those, and then just a bunch of other materials here. Pretty basic event stuff, but I think it is a Sun Vessel event. Well, it is because I went in there and had a look and did some event in there, but Sun Vessel's always great. Make sure to farm a bunch of stuff. This is the event that just ended. Make sure to trade everything if you haven't yet. I traded for most things here, but I'm going to trade for the rest of them later. And anniversary trading space is still up. I haven't really bought anything from here. I might as well get the stuff because I haven't yet. I'll do the rest of it later. Let's look at his paid equipment in a second. So I've done a few pulls already. Don't hate me for that, but I was bored and I was only doing single pulls. You must have seen what's been happening. If you've seen my post, it's just been way too crazy. Don't hate me. I've been having bad luck for a while. I've had a lot of bad luck situations, but recently it's been crazy. I feel like it happens every anniversary. So, paid cloth. I don't know why it's a cloth. Because you would think that he kind of wants an armor, right? I guess it kind of makes sense for a full damage focused build, I guess. So, stats are okay. Trait, earth attack damage 20% is good. Damage cap 2000 is nice. Continuous brave and fort effects. Resistance to curse. I think this is a very good cloth, but I thought it was going to be an armor. But now I think about it, he's not actually wearing armor in his art sprite. So it kind of makes sense. And if you want him to be a tank, then you can just equip an armor, right? If you want. So I think this is good. It doesn't really give survivability, it's mostly for damage. So if you're going for a damage build, this cloth's probably going to be the best option because it gives damage and damage cap, which we don't have very often for cloths or armors. It's rare that we get an armor or cloth that gives damage. Now accessory, what is this? Battle start, restore skill 3's SCT by 20 seconds. Very weird, but okay. I see. Sand weapon active for attack damage 10%. Sand wall active physical attack damage taken minus 10%. Okay, I see what you're doing here. This is quite interesting. There's more words on this one, but I think it's pretty good. Basically, you're getting guaranteed skill 3 at the start of the battle arena. And you also get 10% earth damage if you're using sand weapon, and you also take less physical damage if you're using the sand wall, which for arena, taking 10% less physical damage for an accessory is just crazy. That's very good. I think this is good accessory, not gonna lie. Mostly for arena, I guess, but even for not arena, you're getting 10% earth damage, and you get 20 seconds SCT of your skill 3. I think it's good. Personally, what would I go with? Well, if you're going for a full damage focus build, get this cloth, and also depends on what cloths you have, what clothes you have. But this accessory is also pretty nice, because it gives SCT, more damage if you're using weapon, and less damage taken if you're using Samuel. If you're going for full tank build, you don't need the cloth. You can just go for the accessory. If you're going for a tank build for arena, I think this accessory would be the better option if you're going for arena tank. Even for a damage arena and unit in arena, it's going to be good too, because you get an SCT. So I personally like both of them. I might get both of them, it depends on our luck later. I kind of want both of them and use them in arena, but I don't know yet. We'll see. But personally, what I would do is, if I'm using him in arena, I would probably equip the UR armor instead to take 20% less physical damage if I'm going for a tank build. But even if I'm going for a DPS build, the armor would give more survivability against physical attacks. So for arena, I would probably recommend the accessory more over the cloth, but if you're going for more damage, go for the cloth. And the prisms are here too, but I would recommend to get one of these accessories depending on how you're going to build him. That's what I think. Because, hear me out, if you're getting this cloth, obviously you're getting him for damage, because clothes boost skills don't give as much less damage taken as armor boost. So obviously if you want him as a tank, you would equip an armor to get those armor boost skills as well, to take even less damage than you would with this cloth. But I think they're both good, not gonna lie, they're good. But it depends on what you want to build him as. I can see him being valuable because he can be a tank and a DPS, and units that can fill multiple roles are usually a bit more useful, like Shiv Rollins fits that role where he can do both at the same time. Vayne can too, but he has to switch between them. He can't do both at the same time technically. But that's everything. I think I've talked about everything about the unit and the arc. I think they look solid. I've said that word again, I know. I guess we can do summons next, and then have a look at some other stuff later. My plans for this, I originally thought I was just going to do a few summons and just leave it there, but since I got the arc already, somehow, from magic, we'll look at this probably later, but I do kind of want the unit now. I can see him being useful, and I don't really want to miss out on him, especially since I got the arc already. And usually the arc works well with a unit most of the time, so I'm gonna hope we get him early. And if not, I've got the crystals to get him anyway, but it would be very weird if that happens. Let's do the step gacha, because I must do that. we're just gonna do paid crystals for the moment and see how things go. So let me tell you a story, just a short story, of my experience with this anniversary so far. So I've been doing single pulls with tickets from the events, from anniversary event, and I managed to get the UR arc twice from single tickets. I don't know how that happened, and I even got, I wish the unit was there, I even got this new UR arc from a single pull. Technically it was 10 pulls total, but that includes the daily single, which doesn't really count. I just did 9 single pulls. I don't know what the luck is right now. It's kind of crazy with UR luck, but I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying I'm confused. I'm very confused about what's happening recently. For me, especially. At least it's funny. This one's a skip. Gold? It's a skip. There's no reds here. I'm surprised we got red on the first pull, but it wasn't the unit, and I think that's the only thing we're missing. Actually, it's not. We're missing Zoglas still, somehow. After many years, we're still missing Zoglas. And there's one SSR arc I'm missing. And obviously the new unit. I swear, if we get a UR arc dupe today, I'm gonna be... I don't know, I have no idea what I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna be very shocked and not sure what to say if that happens, because over the past 2 weeks I've gotten 4 UR arcs, and I don't know how, because I haven't even done that many crazy summons. This one's no red here. So my plan for the day is do these summons until I feel like stopping, until we get the unit, ideally. Then here's the free temple. Then I guess we can showcase him and the arc, all that normal stuff we do. I'll probably look at the event too and any other updates. Yeah, I did want to check the news to have a quick look at the updates that are coming out in a few days. This is going to be a skip, there's no red here. 3 reds. It's not going to be anything new, but there are 3 units, which is kind of funny. You're at a +8 now. I personally don't use Eliza anymore. Who still uses Eliza? I know she's good still, but I'm personally starting to use different units. I was using Eliza for Arena for a while. I know her anima's pretty good, but Amelia kind of counters Eliza. If we'd gotten him, Vayne, from that summon, that would have been perfect. It really would have. But now we gotta really get into these paid crystals, which is where it gets very expensive in terms of summons, but I do want to get enough credentials for the equipment anyway. Tharia, gold, it is, everyone shows up. Don't troll me, please game. The game has been very nice to me recently, a bit too nice. I've been worried that it's been using all my luck in one go, and I don't want it to, so turn to a red, don't troll me. It is a red, thank god, but extra animations on arc, yes, sad. Why did I predict all this? I swear, I'm not delayed, my talking is not delayed, I'm doing all of this, I'm predicting everything that happens. Don't be you are. Thank god. I swear, I just know exactly what this game's gonna do to me with the summons. I just feel like that always happens. Or at least a lot of the time I'm like, oh, this happens. It happens. I do get surprised sometimes, but I always try and expect the worst things to happen. That's what you should do. Tharia, I bet it's a blue. I knew it. See, I told you I knew this game. I bet there needs to be enough animations. I don't think I'm gonna get another UR. If I do, I'm gonna be sad. And just speechless at the same time, because we need the unit. One animation might not be enough. It is enough. It's another arc, damn it. Why? 2 reds, 1. No, never mind. Don't be you are. This is the first time I'm asking not to get a UR, isn't it? Well, it's because I don't want to get luckier than I'm supposed to, because I just want a unit at this point. 0.8% is higher than 0.4%, but I've got the arc already. How? I don't know. Let's keep going. I want to get the unit if we can, but my plan is to get the credentials I need, afterwards spend more free crystals, and see how things go. Tharia, don't be a blue. I predict everything. Animations? No, there's a skip, I think. Yep. See, a straight line of golds. It's kind of funny. How many credentials do we have right now? I should check, just in case. Because I want to be sure I have a certain amount. The amount that I need, not, I don't want to go overboard, you know. Unless I need to. See, when Tharia shows up, it's not a guarantee to get a red, never is. So if we do one more temple, then we'll have enough to get both the cloth and the accessory, but do I even want this? Well, yes, because I can use it for when he's going to be a damage focus unit. So, let's get both. It's going to be one of those days. Or is it? Come on. If we get the unit in this temple, it's just going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect if we get it right here. Because then we have enough to get both paid equipments at the same time as getting the units. It's going to be perfect. That means we're not going to have to spend any more that's required. If we spend more, then it's mostly going to be... If it's paid crystals, then it's going to be prisms, but... 2 animations, 3... Come on. Has to be red. There isn't. I'm surprised with this game. At that point, that's when I don't understand the summon animations. Because... Technically it should have been a red, but... Because the animations are kind of random, it's never guaranteed. Let's move... Let's move over to free crystals. I think I'm gonna do some single pulls just to have fun, I guess, because I feel like temples waste incredibly fast. Yeah, I'm glad people like these streams, because I like these too. I personally feel like I'm not doing as much, not putting in as much effort as I could, but at the same time, I have other things I need to do, and people still like watching these, so I guess it's okay. If there's 0 animation, I'm skipping. 1, I still don't think that's enough. That's probably a skip. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do one more temple with 3 crystals, and then if we don't get a red from this temple, I'm gonna move over to single pulls until we get a red right now. Come on. This is the best situation you can get. A gold appearing, 3 appearing with everyone else. The only way it can be better is if a red showed up instantly, but this is the second best. The second best. Even then, I bet this gives no red. We'll see. It's happened before. I've had this... Oh my gosh. I'm me. Look at the animations. Look at the reds. It's gonna be an arc, isn't it? Units. Only 1. Damn it. It's never a good sign. Unless it is. Another arc. How much Crimson Ore do we have? We should be getting closer to 10,000 for that UR Stardust. At some point. At this point, I think we've done more than 100 summons, which is more than I wanted to do, but I kind of want the unit. I think he looks cool. I just think his DPS, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this unit. Let's do rapid singles, because I'm bored. Only blues. This is what I did earlier. This is what I did before I started the stream. I just did this. Nobody. I just kept doing singles, and the 9th single was the UR, and I was like, how? Where are the reds? Has to be one red. Right now. No. It's gonna be a while, isn't it? I've got enough crystals, but I don't want to use them. No. Man. I mean, potentially in future anniversaries we might get more UR tickets. I definitely. And I feel like they're just trying to give an excuse to release more URs in this game, because why would they release another UR right now? Because the last arc that we've had 2 weeks ago was also a UR. Where are the damn reds? We're not getting any reds. Maybe. I mean, I don't have hope, but animations could give. 1 is not enough. 2 is 50%. Probably not. There is 1. Don't be an arc. It's nothing. Yeah. Go on. Well, that was a unit. We got closer. I like to think that. I would like to think that. But it doesn't mean anything at all. It's just random. How many have we done? 140 is my guess. Or 130. 120. That's close enough. We're technically about halfway there to the unit. Yeah, they released too many URs. Let's do paid crystals, I guess. I don't want to use all my paid crystals, I really don't. Okay? Because I don't want to spend more. Tharia, don't be a blue. Don't. Okay. Give me enough animations, give me the red, give me the units. There's not enough animations, but there is a red. But it's only 1. Magia? That's actually not bad, because he's still good. He's at plus 10, but does that even do anything? I don't think 2 SC is really going to do anything for me, is it? Huh. Well. One more temple with paid crystals. I'm not sure if I should pity with paid or free crystals. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 15 paid, 15,000 paid crystals in total if I wanted to get him right now. Or just use free crystals, but that would end up being more. That would end up being. There's a gold. That would end up being like 30 to 40,000 ish. Unit. Doesn't mean anything though. Have. There's only 1. Shift Gorm. I haven't been using him in Arena recently. He's at plus 8 now. I guess that's kind of useful. But again, it's not the new unit that we're looking for, so I'm still not happy. This is what I was worried about earlier, is going for the unit that I originally didn't care too much about. Let's do the single pulls again. Try and get the unit. We're almost reached. We're 5 more minutes and it's going to be an hour. I usually try and get the unit before it reaches an hour, I think. So, come on. No. You can tell when it's the unit because it's going to pop up instantly. If I skip, well, it's a single pull. No. I'm going to just do this for a while because it's more entertaining for me. Zekus is a gold again. Potentially, but think about it though. I can see the value in this unit. Three, I can see the value in this unit because he can be a good tank slash DPS. So that's the main reason why I think it could be good. So I kind of want him with the UR. This one's going to be a dupe of... Who am I guessing? I don't know. I can't tell you. There's too many units in this gacha. Yeah, another dupe of... Really? We got you earlier. We could do more summons with free crystals, or we could use the paid crystals that we got. Choose which one. Good question. See, I was thinking that Vayne... I'm still saying that. Vayne, he's gonna be a decent unit for Arena, I feel like. We can get these paid stuff now, we might as well do that, right? I do like the accessory. Got enough for one prism. Man. 147. Well, what do you think's more worth it? What do I think's more worth it? 12,000 paid crystals. That would leave us with 8,000-ish left. It's kind of... I'd like to have... I don't know. Or just spend 30,000 free instead. Well, I had this situation last time, didn't I? With Lagravos. And I decided the free crystal way was the better way, but was it really? I don't know. I ended up using more paid crystals for Lagravos anyway, because he's good. Yeah, it might be worth doing. I really wanted to get him early. There's the free singles. No, nothing. I think I want to spend the free crystals instead. $30,000 would leave us with 74,000 free crystals left, which is still enough. There's nothing that I want that's coming up next. I don't know what's coming up. That's the problem. And this would give a prism as well, but I don't think that's incredibly important. There's still the Adele banner up, just saying. I don't know which one to recommend at this point, but it's up to you, depending on what you need. Well, I'm gonna get him anyway, because I'm already close. But here's the thing I was thinking, is he could be good in Arena if you have everything to build him right. As a tank or a DPS, I don't know. What about him with the new UR? I don't know. It's a question that I don't know yet. It's going to require testing and things. I originally planned to just do 50 pulls in total to get this unit and stop. But the UR arc came first. And I was like, UR arc plus unit is usually a good combo, isn't it? I'm gonna skip this temple. Well, obviously Tweaks has done some testing, but I haven't yet. I haven't even touched him yet. So, yeah, the reds are gone. I'm just gonna have to pity, aren't I? I know this. I refuse to watch the animation unless we get a red first. 3, no. I personally feel like it's fun to use a new story unit in the new story. I'm sure most people are like that too. Like, you get a new story unit, use them in the new story. There's something new. There he is. That's a lot of words, jeez. He makes me he makes me think of like I think he's supposed to be in the story like a guy that is the head of a, you know, like a arena type area, that's Colosseum basically. Well, there's the units, Vayne or Vayne or whatever you want to call him. We didn't have to pity, but it was damn close anyway. That's why you use free crystals instead of paid in some situations like this. I guess it's not too bad. It's not the worst thing ever. But we were like 40 pulls off. At least that saves those crystals for a future banners, I guess. Right? Yeah. Well, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. Well, let's showcase him now anyway. Or at least have a look at what we got today. 210 pulls is a bit much, but it's fine. I'm standing in fire, but it's fine. Well, it's okay. It's okay, because we've managed to get both anyway. Let's have a look. So, I'm quite interested to try him out. I don't know how much he's going to require to be a good unit, but there's some potential there. Some potential. I can see the potential. That's why I wanted to get him. And why save crystals and do nothing with them when you can just get units and have more fun, you know? That's what I always think. Like, what should we do first? Let's look at the unit first. And use rainbow potion or not. Do we need to do that? I mean, probably not. I've got a few of these I could use first. Tell you what, I'm going to save a rainbow potion, and I'm going to use these because I have so many. How do I have so many? I might as well use gold potion instead. I did get a rainbow potion from guild login a few days ago. That was fun. Limits, never heard of them. What are limits? I don't know. You're crazy. Broken most of mine, or I don't have any. Really? That's quite funny. You want to talk, aren't you? See, his hair reminds me of like Sephiroth. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Or Aerith. Either one. Let's use these potions. We should be able to get to 100. Definitely, but be smart with potions. I'm just going to evenly use these. How many power potions do I have? I still have over 1,000. How many do I have? I have no idea. Okay, this might take a while, but might as well use the things that I've got, right? That doesn't give much. Do I still have 1,900? Okay. I'm just trying to even out the spending. I'm trying to be smart. This might be dumb. Sometimes I try to be smart, but I'm dumb. I'm sure that's normal for most people. Yeah, here's the thing. I'll tell you something. I played Knights and Dragons was my main game before this game. I played that game for 8 years, right? I know that sounds crazy, but I just used to hoard gems so much. All the time. There was a point where I saved gems for literally 1 whole year because I was so crazy with hoarding gems and didn't want to spend them because I like seeing the high numbers of saved gems. So I used to be like that, and then I just realized, why am I doing this? I should start spending them. And I did gradually. Those 1 year of saving gems ended up lasting a couple years, and then I ended up spending 11,000 gems in one event, and that was that. Basically my whole year of saving gems in one event. Hooray. That's crazy. Let's use these prisms. I'm gonna save God Relic Prism still. He's gonna stay at +4. Let's learn all of the Fourth and Heart skills. What's his ward? I'm gonna guess 1% less physical damage taken. Yes, perfect. I predicted that. I could tell because he was kind of like a hybrid tank / DPS. I was secretly hoping for some earth damage cap, but whatever. Let's teach everything. I remember closer to when this game came out that teaching skills to units was a lot more difficult. You used to farm a lot of materials, or at least I didn't have the materials available to teach everything. Those times were interesting. And now these times are just very complicated. That's what it feels like. Earth critical rays. See, my habit after, well, I've just been spending too much on these games. I've been trying to cut back on how much I'm spending in terms of crystals, but it doesn't happen. Mostly because recently I think I've been getting lucky, and then when I get unlucky it's been a unit that I want. So it kind of, you know, is just funny. Because, for example, Lagrabos, I wanted him. I was going to get him no matter what. Game forced me to pity him anyways. I mean, Adele, I wanted him anyway, but I got lucky. What's the guess for the next unit in 2 weeks? I don't know. I hope it's a permanent unit so I can save my damn crystals. Or a unit that I don't care about. Because then I can have a break for once, you know? Because I have other stuff that I need to do too. Human Buster is going to be nice. See, I'm just thinking of a good build for him. Like, you could build him like Grain in Arena and just build him for S1 skill spam and destroy everything. Or skill 3. I don't know yet. Or just use tank build, I don't know. See, I was thinking of comparing Granadas to this unit in terms of how tanky they are. Because I was interested in that. I'm sure some people are interested in that too. But to do that, I kind of want to compare how much skills they have for taking less damage. Because that's the main factor there. Yeah, I remember, I looked at earlier his Granadas trait 2, nullify piercing effects is a big one. And also basically nullifying Trishula is a big one too, so I guess that kind of makes him overall better. But you can put on stone the there's a skill that makes a unit nullify piercing effects. You can just put that on this unit anyways, so it could still be good. I kind of want to try it. I'm interested to seeing what this guy's damage potential is like. I hope he can hit his damage cap fairly easily. If not, then I understand, but at the same time, I hope not. Well, he does have Human Slayer. Single wields. Should be almost everything, right? I usually miss one skill because it's hiding, like this one. Ruto, well, I can see that, but Ruto kind of dies a bit easily when you've got Human Slayer and stuff, but he does that 7 seconds of invincibility, which is too crazy. I still haven't built him because I like building newer units more, and it's just a bit boring. Yeah, I was really hoping that this unit could be like a Shift Roland in Arena. Maybe not as good, but as in can take hits as well as do damage. But it seems like he can only switch between both. He can't really do both at the same time. So, yeah. Yeah, Ruto's pretty good for taking hits and can sometimes counter a few things, but I haven't used him in Arena. I got him from Anniversary, I believe. Well, actually, it was free Anniversary, wasn't it? At some time. Let's look at equipment. So, here's the thing, is he doesn't have any specific weapons he needs to equip. Favorite sword is any weapon, and he can equip any weapon, so what should you equip? Well, if you want him to take more hits, for Arena I would just build him like Granadas, just basically copy Granadas build. Obviously you would probably want an earth weapon. You could put on Trishul if you want. Potentially, but Sarah is a good tank too, and healing. We've got other units available that can be good tanks. I'm not sure the best possible tank team. I might try and test out a full tank team at some point. What about Murren? He's decent, but I see that Thunder units kind of counter him at times. Let's have a look at weapons. Obviously, I'm going to look at earth weapons. Now, if you can see, we only have 12. There isn't many earth weapons. I think the best ones we have are spears. So, I would probably equip a spear. This one. But, yeah, or a bow. This makes me think you could put a bow on, and that could be pretty good. I'm gonna have to try out some builds later, or just very soon. I want to get to it right now, but let me do that. My plan: use any earth weapon if you want Goddess Kiss. If you don't care about normal attacks, then just go for any good weapon you have, like a sword or anything. For the moment, I'm going to do a crazy thing and go for a full crit build with a bow and see if it works or not. For clothes or armors, my equip is paid because it's good for damage, but if you don't have it, then Anything you have, really. He's not going to be dual-wield. The armor that I was thinking of earlier, you can't even equip an armor. Okay, makes sense. You can only equip clothes right now, unless you put on armor equip, which I want to do that. I really do. But for the moment, I'm just going to equip as paid. Yeah, just put on armor equip. It's going to waste 2 SC, but it's worth doing. You get the 2 SC from the prism from the event anyway, so it's fine. For accessory, I'm going to equip as paid one because I think it's good. Apart from that, depends on what your building has. I feel like he can have multiple builds, but the way I'm building him for the moment is going to be a bit weird. This is good, very good to have, or anything that helps him survive is good too. I personally like this accessory. I might use this. This one for damage is good. Anything for damage if you want damage, or if you want survivability, then go for that. Or you just go for both. Eternal Tree, I might as well use it. Huh. I guess I'll go with this for the moment. And that'll do for now. It's not my final build. Stats are okay so far. I need to learn. I need to teach him Honey Elixir. And then we'll start. Because there's quite a few builds that you could do with this guy, I think. I really want to test it. I don't know what I was doing here. I was just teaching a bunch of skills to random units. I was using Rabala in the maze, because I've been doing a little bit of that. Load, don't crash the game. Actually, I know what I can do now. I can switch over to Steam version. Let's do that. Because I don't need to be here anymore. Knights and Dragons are still on my... The music's still going for some reason, even though it's closed. Yes, there you go. Let's close that. I closed it. There you go. Steam is always a lot better. Let's teach him Honey Elixir and that should be enough, and then we'll try him out. I don't know his skill stocks. We'll have to see. Because I'm almost certain that this unit is not going to replace Granadas as a tank for Arena, or at least an overall tank. Because Vayne is still a DPS. His skill 3 is pretty good. Let's just kill everything. Kill things. There you go. I do like that sand dragon. It's pretty cool. That should be all I need, right? Just Honey Elixir. Yeah. Fast high protection could be good on him for Arena. I definitely can't wait to try out him as a tank in Arena just to test him out. I kind of want to... Let me do this now. So, I'm going to check something. I just want to check the difference between Granadas and Vayne, the new unit, in terms of a tank. So obviously this guy's a focused tank and has this skill 2, which is very useful, right? But, and even his skill 3 gives a mind buff to all allies. That's more of a useful tank support, right? But if you ignore that and just look at survivability, Give all allies minus 10% damage taken from, and minus 20% from bosses. I'm gonna just add all of this up, just so I can compare stuff. So minus 10% so far, but that's to everyone too. 6% damage. But the thing that this Granadas has better is his trait 2. If absolute resistance is 1, won't flinch from that type of magic. Chance to nullify long range attacks, nullify defense piercing, nullify actually ignore cut effects. Vayne doesn't have that. No unit doesn't have this. This is what makes Granadas quite good, is his trait 2. I just want to compare his skills most of all. His base skills. So he's got obviously got charisma, we're not going to count these. I just want to count, obviously got all of these guard skills. I don't know if I should count those. EX guard, I don't think Vayne has that. Damage taken during guard minus 15%. Guard rate up, yeah, that's pretty good. I wish that was an arc right now. Should I count that? I mean, I might as well. Guard bash. Whatever, night zone. More, 10% more. I'm just adding all this up, don't worry, it's fine. Damage from soldiers minus 10%. Human shield. I think Vayne has human shield, right? What I thought. Vayne doesn't have that, but his armor does. They both have stone armor, right? They both have stone enhanced. They're pretty similar. I'm not gonna lie. Surprising how similar they are. Obviously, he's focused on a spear, so that's gonna kind of, you know, make it a bit unfair because spear is very good for taking less damage. Spear high boost is 15% more. And then you've got this, which is very good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they both have focus will. Now let's go to Vayne. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. I just want to compare it. So Granadas had a total of 90% damage mitigation, at least the basic ones that I could count, from most enemies. Now obviously that includes Spear High Boost, and that doesn't include all the extra skills adding on, and it doesn't include his trait 2, but I'm just interested. Obviously he's got the plus 100% defense, which doesn't count as damage mitigation, but he does have minus 30%, which is very solid. There's the pun again. So, should I count charisma or not? Sure, why not? But it does count to everyone. He doesn't have EX guard, he does have anti-type shield, but not human shield. Sound steps, chance for evade. They're pretty nice. Okay, I think I know Granadas is going to be more tanky. I'm pretty sure I see. Minus 10% more. I don't know if I should be doing this. Stone armor, stone enhance is... I didn't count that on Granadas, did I? No. Megalodon shield, Granadas doesn't have that. So, that's great. Cloak of Majesty, Granadas didn't have that either. Imaginary weapon, blah blah blah. Draw more attention. Damage when transfer resist flinch from physical attacks, and one unit is more. See, Granadas doesn't have flinch from physical attacks, but this guy does, and he has another revive. Okay. That's all I'm going to do for comparing them. Let's go to the showcase now. Basically, what I discovered from that was Granadas seems like a better overall tank, right? Obviously, clearly. But Vayne is still a bit different in terms of has some other tank skills that Granadas doesn't have, and the other way around too. I haven't actually read that. It did say armor, and she only equips clothes, so why is that? Subquest. Oh yeah. Let's go normal stage. I should level up the arc, I'll do that. When weapon and armor is equipped. But why? Why? Why would you give him a skill that increases damage cap when you have an armor, and then give him a paid cloth? It's just a bit strange. It's quite... I don't think a cloth counts as an armor. So, in that case, it's kind of weird. Anyway. Yeah, that means why would you use this cloth? I mean... I don't know. Let's just try this out. Let me level this up first and I'll try it out. I'm pretty certain you need an armor, but he equips a cloth. This is weird. I don't get it. I'm going to put on armor equip and equip an armor at some point later, probably once I build him properly, because I feel like armor is the better option. We won't be able to get this to max level, but it's good enough. Because I was thinking to use his clothes for if you want damage, but if you need to have armor to have even more damage, then why would you equip clothes? I don't know. I kind of want this. This is the armor that I think is going to be good on him. So I'm going to get that right now because I have so much Ethereon, however you pronounce that. I usually say Ethereon. Ether, whatever. I think this is a good armor. So I'm going to get it for later. I want it. Give it. I have over 100, don't ask how, I don't know how. Events, login, more events, library from arcs, more events. The anniversary gave a lot. An arena shop. Hello. Yeah, we're just trying him out now. Haven't tried him yet. Haven't even touched him yet. But, kind of good timing. Just gonna get this to 100%. There you go. It's good armor. It might be his best armor. Not sure. Favorite that instantly. I think it's worth it. Let's try him out now. I think we're ready. This is just base skills and everything. And some basic equipment. You could put on Trishler on him if you wanted to, but I don't really recommend it. He already has 2 of his skill 3 at the start of the battle. Okay, like that. That's very good. Let's use, I'm pretty sure he should have... He starts off with Sand Wall at the start of the battle. Okay. I see. Let's use, let's watch this. I kinda like that. That's pretty cool. Let's use Honey Elixir. Why'd you turn down the sound? 5-3-3. It's pretty good. S1. pretty basic, but it's just good and something we need to know. Skill 2 is, you've got to be close. It is around the unit. 11, that's pretty fast though. Skill 3 is his best skill, I think. Look at this. He should have sand weapon buff now, right? Yeah. Okay. See, I'm thinking, how often can sand wall or sand weapon buff activate? Like, if I just stand here and take hits, when is sand wall gonna activate? By itself? Or does it? I'm pretty sure it does, right? I'm not stupid. Sand Steph is ignoring us. Wait, is the buff running out? Now he has sand wall. Good. And now if I use skills, he has sand weapon already. Okay, wait. Is it as soon as you use one skill, does it activate sand weapon buff? And then when you're getting hit, it activates sand wall? That could be good. That kind of makes it easier to switch which buff you want active. Or maybe I just got lucky, I don't know. I'm gonna do that again, but this time with Sarah. So I think he needs to use at least one skill to get his sand weapon buff active. I believe, what it looks like. Now he's got, yeah, the 2 skill stocks was because of quick trigger. Makes sense. Let's use the UR arc skill next, just to see. I want to watch it again. I think this animation is pretty cool. And loud. Okay. It's not bad, he's doing a lot of crits. Oh yeah, I remember I got a bow equipped. I wanted to use a different arc for that. That's not bad. I think he does have Human Slayer though, so that kind of makes sense. But let me do that one more time. This time, I'm going to equip and be crazy a bow with this arc, which this one, this one, more crit rate, damage against weak points after criticals deal an extra attack. Because he has a bow, this could be good. A full crit build. Let's see what this is like. This is still base skills, by the way. I haven't got anything taught, so yeah. But this could be good, technically. There's a chance, a small chance. A smidge. It could be good. I wonder what crits rate he could have. Do we even have bow boost and high boost on an arc? I don't think so. Let's spam S3 again, because it's probably his best skill. Okay. Obviously the damage isn't super high, but it's his base skills, so it's not terrible. But he's still a hybrid tank, so I don't expect his DPS to be crazy good. Like, Adele's DPS is pretty good, but at least Vayne has pretty fast skills, so that's a good thing. If he had slow skills, I think as a DPS he would be quite bad, but since they're decently fast, still good. And I've been wanting an Earth DPS, so it's pretty good. What should we do next? Well, let's do the full test, I guess, because we like that. Yes. Good enough. Usually in most cases this will hit damage cap, even with base skills, because there's so many buffs going on. And he has Slayer, so I expect he should hit damage cap right now with this. I should probably go with Balin for the charisma. I think that's good enough. He is single wield, has a bow. If I'm using a bow, then I should probably equip the other one. Let's try this. Just want to see what this does. Should be good, right? Trick is to force Balin to not use anything. There we go. We could try a special out too, but he doesn't have any awaken levels, so it's not going to do very much. What's the plan? Still got Theopolis. I could use his special right now just to try it out. I might as well. Let's just use it. It's all enemies. Not going to do very much. Well, it's still not bad. It's cool though. Okay. Now Theopolis and S3. They're just going to die really quick. Okay. That's pretty good. I do really like Ziliorg as a unit. I think he's pretty cool. I'm going to try that again, but this time without the special, and just focus on his skill 3. I feel like his skill 3 did quite a lot there. Probably because I'm using crit build. Let's do that again. Obviously it could be high damage cap, but since he's getting extra attacks from the crits, then it doesn't matter as much. I'm just going to do the same thing. Yeah, I think there was a bug with Ziliorg that made him do ridiculous damage in multiplayer. I don't know if that still exists because I haven't seen anyone use him in multiplayer for an incredibly long time. He's still a fun unit, but just requires a lot to build, so most people can't be bothered. And it's like, why do I want to build this unit when I can just use someone else that's better? You know? I think most people think like that. Okay, here we go. Let's spam skill 3, see how many skill 3s it takes. Usually it takes 2 skill 3s to kill them all, I think. It was 2. My ears, jeez. It's not terrible. It's actually okay. But, is it crazy? No. But, if you use a build like this and are against enemies weak to earth, this could be a pretty good build. Especially with the bow equipped, and with this arc that I have on, I think this is pretty good. I think this build could be a pretty good build for like maximum damage potential for crits. So I'm kind of happy with this. I could try Icy Guardian too, but I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, it's probably going to be better if they have low ice resistance, but this gives more crit rate and I'm equipping a bow, so... How much crit could he have? Maximum. Good question. He only has crit up 3, he could have crit up 2 and 1. Auto critical. He's already got that. I wish there was two-handed bow boost or something. I think let's teach him his 5th enhanced skills. Let me check bow boost skills. Bow boost is still not on an arc, which is sad. And bow high boost is still not an arc either. That's sad. There's no bow boost or high boost on an arc. Pretty sure there's no two-handed bow or something. I don't think that exists. Yeah, it doesn't yet. Well, that's sad. There's no bow boost, so you can't benefit from that. I hope they bring a bow unit soon, because we don't really have many. Yeah, none of them are on arcs, but this is still good. 10% crit rate, and it's earth. It's perfect. But I was kind of hoping for more crit rate with like two-handed bow, but boost, but it's not here. It doesn't exist. Maybe in the future, but not now. So maybe there's better builds, but let's teach him 5th enhance, I guess, and awaken him as much as we can. One time. Wow. It's like a sandstorm, but it's not. Stats are okay. Kind of hoping for over 2000. Should be able to get that right now. That's fine. Someone told me that they feel hope again through watching my battles. I don't know about that. I want to know more about this unit in the story. So when I do the story, I'm going to use this unit just to speed through story and use this unit because that's going to be fun. I like doing that. This isn't the best build, but that's good for now. Let's teach the skills that we need. Should be Earth Attack raise 3 here somewhere, right? Yep. And Morch rate 1. More damage. Love it. I wonder how much strength or defense he could have. He could have incredibly high stats. That's what I'm thinking. 100% stats sounds crazy. It might not be, but it sounds crazy. Like, maybe putting as much defense on him as possible could be a good tank. We'll see. Or as much strength as possible, because he gets 100% strength. That's crazy. Does that stack with Brave? Probably. That makes me think, because his clothes have Brave and Fort. Makes sense. There's everything. So, stats, pretty nice. Obviously nothing crazy, but these are just base skills. So, I think it's okay. I'm definitely going to build him properly a bit later. Well, after the stream, but I'll try to build him a little bit better maybe now, but I don't know if I want to do that, because it's going to take an incredibly long time if I do it in the stream. We've been here for an hour and 44 minutes, so probably not do that in the stream, but still. Let's try him out now, see the difference. I still don't know if I should be using this arc or not. Probably not. See, this doesn't give damage. This does, obviously. Council 10 could be nice. I'm gonna use that, actually, and try. There you go. Now he's gonna have crazy skill stocks. Now I think about it, he could have a lot of skill stocks in total. If you put on Purple Orb, his skill stocks are gonna be quite high. Might as well use Charisma this time and use this. Skill stocks are now even higher. Amazing. 30k on a crit. Okay. He's doing quite a lot of crits though. I can definitely notice that I think the damage modifier, yeah, on skill 2 is definitely a lot higher than skill 1. That's pretty normal though. Skill 3. I love it. Yeah, he does got to be in range. Go away. I want to... If I go far away and try and use a skill 3, he does have to be in range. I want to test that range. I'll be honest, it's not bad. But it's still hard to test. It's hard to test how much damage you can take, because you kind of need him to be fully built for that. I could try him as a full special build. What else do I want to try? What was I gonna try? I could try that arc again with this build just because I like it. Let's try again. So he starts off with the ball buff. If I use one skill, now he has weapon buff. That's pretty good though. His strength is obviously not incredibly high, but that can obviously be increased by an incredible amount. If you put on a lot, even armors and stuff like that could be crazy. But I am glad that he only has to use one skill to get his sand weapon buff, because that makes it reliable. Spam this. Yeah, I personally like this. It's not crazy damage though, but... Okay. Let's put in a tank and test out his range. I kind of know his skill 2 range is mostly a close range skill. Skill 1 is anywhere. Skill 3 is a bit more difficult. That should be good enough, right? Ooh, now I'm thinking Gorm's defender buff. Oh yeah. Okay. So if you stack other units' defense buffs like Gorm's defended buff, his stats can go crazy for defense. That might be the way. Let's use a skill first. Okay, now he's got weapon buff and his strength is now the same as it was. So the range, obviously skill 1 can be used anywhere. Skill 2 have to use it quite close, but that's okay. The range is not bad on a skill 2 actually. It's still a bit close. Skill 3 is... yeah, you gotta walk. So I don't think you can instantly use a skill 3 in the start of the arena, which sucks. But you could spam his skill 1 instead. Is that gonna be a good thing? I don't know. Let's move over to his... let's do the full showcase again. I guess we're almost done with the showcase. I could try special also. I could try a lot of things, but the main things that I wanted to show, at least. So far I think he's a pretty decent DPS, it seems. I'm not sure on his survivability yet, because it's hard to test that really, until he's fully built, and has a lot of skills learnt, but we will see. Nightbot usually times out people with spam, so I'm glad he's here. I think I could do it from my phone. Anything else I need to do? Yeah, you. There you go. I think that's good enough, right? Now let's use the Theopolis and spam skills. I think it... See, when I originally saw this unit skills video, I originally thought it was going to be an arena focused unit. My ears. I thought he was going to be an arena focused unit because he looked like it, his skills looked like it, so I think he will be good in arena no matter what happens. There we go. I think that DPS pretty good. I don't know if that's his best DPS, but let me compare that to like El Giovanna or Perfect of Gods. Might as well. And then put in the Vayne again and try that again, see if it's better. I don't think it's going to be better because the extra hits are always a bit more valuable, aren't they? Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a useful unit no matter what. He's not bad. Better than I thought originally because it kind of takes some time to really see how good they are. But at the moment, not bad. For Maze, he's going to be incredibly useful for Maze, 100%. Because I've been kind of needing another Earth DPS for the Maze, because I had to build Ravala for a good Earth DPS. There we go. But what would I recommend? Well, I personally feel like Adele's probably going to be the more useful unit. But it's up to you again. Overall, I think Adele's probably better, but I can't say that for sure. As a DPS, yes, of course. Okay. That's very loud. That seemed better. But was it? I mean, it didn't really seem that much of a difference, really. Let me try one more time. This time with Icy Guardian. I'm sure that's going to be the best one. We all know it. But I don't always want to use it because it gets boring using that arc all the time. And you can't use it against enemies that have ice resistance. So, yeah. Won't be the best option. One more time. I haven't fully built him yet, so I can't say what his maximum potential is going to be, but looking at how he performs with his base skills alone, and even with a bunch of supports, I think it's good. I will test him in arena over the next week or two. Maybe he's going to be amazing there. I don't know yet. He's probably going to be amazing to counter like Vayne and stuff, but for auto teams, I don't know if he's going to be good for auto teams in arena. I can see it because the skill 1's good, but at the same time, like Vayne. So yeah. There we go. And Call of Duty does release tomorrow. I'll be playing that quite a bit, but I probably won't stream it because I'm sure people don't care and people are not interested, so I'll just be playing that instead by myself, that's fine. Okay, well, it's obviously very good. 2 skill 3s. He can't use 1 skill 1, which is unfortunate, but it's still good damage. Obviously, Icy Guardian was the best one there, but still, his DPS is decent, but that was with a lot of help. So, I'm gonna try one more time by himself this time. What arc should I use though? Let me put this back. Let me try Perfect of God. Maybe. I mean, I don't... Fine. Let's try this one more time. I've said one more time like 10 times. But it's fine. So I'm thinking that he starts off with Sand Wall. Even when you use the first skill, it applies to that first skill, I believe, right? That's pretty good. I do have this to level 3, I think. Now the buff weared off, and now it's not hitting damage cap anymore on the crits, but that's fine. It's still good, but I've been doing it against human enemies this whole time, so I haven't been testing against god types, which I could do right now. Should I do that? I mean, we still got some time. I have some time. But I do have to get some work done soon. Let's do it against the other stage. It's not going to do as much, I know, but let's see how bad it is here. I'm still going to stick with this arc because I like it. And let's go. I won't be trying him in arena in the stream because he doesn't have any skills learnt yet. So he's going to do terrible. He needs to have a full build for that to work. So they have no earth resistance, which is good. He's not going to do very much damage here, I expect. Don't get flinched. It's okay. Obviously nothing crazy though. Not hitting damage cap at all, but expected. He doesn't have his slayers. They're still pretty spammable, you can see that, right? He's not killing them yet, but almost. Normal attack, I didn't try his normal attack by the way. What is it? 5 hits are actually good. It looks like his skill 2 has some pull, like not as like a worse version of Demon Lord Ramura's skill 2. It looks like it. That could be good. We don't have that many skills that pull enemies in, they're pretty good. Mostly for arena, and if you want to, probably time trials, but he's not going to be a time trial unit for sure. I think that's all the testing I can do with his base skills. I'm going to quickly check anything else that I can cover in the stream, and I guess we'll leave it there, because I've done the main things I wanted to do. So if I check the news right now, I can't show it because it's opening a browser window. Well, damn. I could maybe do it anyway. Can I show... I don't know if I have a... yeah, this one. Almost. Quite good enough. This update, I'm sure most people don't care about this, but I'm just going to cover quickly, just in case. Halloween arc, I thought it was going to be in this update, but this arc is, it says here, it's on 30th of October, which makes sense, because that's technically when Halloween's going to be, so this isn't yet. This arc is going to be in 3 days from now, so that's nice. It's basically going to be a free arc that you can get. I'm not really going to cover anything on this, because it's just Not any new units or anything, but not worthy of live stream is what I'm saying, and I have other stuff I need to do. So I do always have time for these streams, but not extra things, you know. I mean, I could, but I like chilling out and doing stuff. But anyways, that's the main thing. Halloween update is basically in 3 days from now. It's not now. And then as Guild of One, same in 3 days from now. And all the other stuff is basically what is in this update, but this is on 2nd November. Time Trial is also 2nd November update. And then 9th of November should be the next unit. And that's basically it. Can I remember which button it was? Maybe almost this one. Why did it resize it? I didn't want you to resize it. I wanted you to stay the same size you was. Fit to screen. Perfect, there you go. Right. I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else. New story. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be doing that in my own time. Enjoy the story. I always like the story. I finished all the story stages recently over the last few weeks. So, my conclusion for this update so far. I think Vayne, I still think that's how you pronounce him, I think is a good unit. I don't know how good. Obviously, I think his DPS isn't as good as Adele and this Perfects God You Are. Adele with Perfects God You Are both seems like high DPS unit and high DPS arc. But this banner instead feels like a high tanky arc and unit. But he can also do some damage as well. So it's kind of like having the opposite banners right next to each other. High DPS, very tanky, you know. So I don't think he's going to be an insane tank unit, but maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe when he's fully built, he's going to be a solid tank and be able to be meta and arena tank somehow. I don't know yet. I don't think so, because he doesn't feel like a proper tank. To me, he seems like a hybrid tank slash DPS, but I personally feel like a unit like Granadas is probably more tanky than him, for sure, and units like Shift Gorm especially is more tanky, because they're basically only focused as a tank and not DPS. But at least Vayne can be a good DPS as well as a tank, so it's going to require more testing, but overall I still think it's going to be a top unit. But for DPS, I don't think it's going to be that crazy. If you're deciding which banner you want to pull on, it's up to you, but I highly recommend Adele banner first. I think Lagrabos banner's gone. Yeah, it is, which is sad because he was very good. But Adele, I think, is the better option if you don't have him, because he's just going to be a top unit for DPS and can take some hits too. But if you care more about a tank, then this unit's going to be better, I think. But we're just going to have to see. Also, this UR, I think it's a very good UR for mostly arena taking less damage, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to mess around with this arc and this unit very soon over the next few days, and I'll see how everything is, and maybe I'll do a video on something. Usually I don't, but maybe if it's crazy I'll post a video, but usually I don't really post many things on arena because it kind of, arena's competitive and I don't really want to spoil anything, but maybe I will, we'll see. But I think this is a good unit and good arc, better than I originally thought. Through testing, at least from base skills, seems pretty nice, and I can see the potential there, but I need to build more, and I'm glad we have another Earth DPS, because I kind of wanted one. The previous Earth DPS that we got was Morgana and also Levi, but they don't feel like a full DPS compared to like the best DPS in the game, like I don't know, Adele, I guess, you know. But Levi is still a very good DPS, but it's just that he's been out for a while and I was kind of hoping for another one on the same level as Levi. But I'm not complaining because he still seems like a very good unit. I'm going to build him, and we'll see, but that's it for this stream. It's been 2 hours and 5 minutes exactly at this point, but I've had fun with this unit. Even though it took us over 200 summons to get him, at least we managed to get both, so it's not a bad stream, I say. Hope everyone else enjoys this update. I'm going to enjoy the story because I always like new story. It's quite rare that we get new stories, not very often. And this event, I haven't really looked at the event, but it's basically another Sun Vessel event, nothing to really cover on there. A bunch of materials, a bunch of stuff, nothing really interesting, but I think that's everything for the stream. I don't know if Levi is still a better DPS. I'm going to guess potentially. If you have Levi built as a full DPS with as much damage as possible, I think he might be better. He even has Human Slayer, doesn't he? Yeah. But I think Vayne is a better tank. Obviously, he can take more hits. He's better as a hybrid, can do both. I don't know, I still feel like Levi's better, but if you build Vayne as a full DPS, he could have the potential to be better. But I'm not 100% sure. They're both good. Levi's kind of starting to get outdated a little bit, but he's still a very solid DPS unit, so he's still not bad. I wouldn't be surprised if Levi was still better, because Vayne is not supposed to be a full DPS, he's supposed to be a hybrid. And it seems like it's more leaning towards a tank, but can do good DPS too. It's hard to tell. I'll do more testing, but I think they're both good in their own way. And if I look at damage numbers, I feel like Vayne has the potential to have higher damage, so he might be better. I don't know yet. I'll have to see, but I think that's it for this stream. I don't think I can cover anything else. And I have some things I need to do. It's 2:47 here, so I need to get on with some work soon. I'll be back in 2 weeks from now. I have no idea what the next unit's going to be. I'm quite interested in what the next unit will be. Maybe they will tease the next unit in the story. That might happen. So I'm going to have to get the story done in 2 weeks, which is fine because I have the time to do that. But Call of Duty releases tomorrow. I'm going to be farming that a bunch. I want to get the master camera on that game, but that's going to take an incredibly long time. So that's a long grind, but that's my own problems to deal with. Anyways, I'll see everyone in 2 weeks from now. If you manage to get this unit, then be sure to try him out. He's quite fun. It is fun having a unit that has fast skills. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye. I'll try to do some videos in between, but I can't promise anything. See ya.